I think the film has all the right elements. It has action and comedy, and also it has two stories about two couples that all people can relate to. So it truly have a heart and emotion and feelings to the story. It's a fun, funny, enjoyable, entertaining movie, I find. It's hard to say what is, if it's more action or more comedy, but I think that there's a very good combination of the two. I knew that I had a certain amount of time before I was shooting Wonder Woman, and I wanted to do something different. I read the script and I liked it, and I laughed all the way through. And then I heard about our amazing, talented cast and Greg Mottola, and I was in. Every day was funny. It was literally all about who's going to give the best punchline, who's going to make who laugh first. It was a game almost. It was great.
Well, the movie has a lot of really nice action sequences and characters that are kind of well thought out, and some really dumb jokes, and it's not too vulgar, so it's I don't know, it's kind of a grown-up comedy. I like it a lot. It's I think it's probably pretty tricky to do as an editor, I would imagine, and as a director, but I think the balance is pretty good in this one. Yeah, this one's it's an action movie that has some funny moments in it, a lot of funny moments in it, but there's a lot of action, there's some heart. I don't know, I liked it a lot. I think it's one of these things where you kind of read a script and you think, well, this is kind of a different character. I haven't maybe done this kind of person. This business can you can paint yourself into a corner with, doing the same tricks over and over again. So it just was interesting enough to it was different enough of something I haven't really played, more of a straight person, straight man with some quirks. So that's kind of what it, and also working with John and Greg Mottola, the director. And I've known Isla and Matt Walsh, so I knew a lot of the people in the movie, and it was a lot of fun to work on. We would all go to dinner at night, and it was just a lot of fun, and it's just the hanging out. Because, like I said, I knew some of these people are people I've worked with before, or friends, and it's just work is the work, and then you hang out after work. And now I'm old, so it's just we just go to dinner and sit, show pictures of each other's kids to each other. It's not very wild.
I think they can expect a little action, quite a bit of action, some comedy, some romance, some hilarious performances from Zach Galifianakis and John Hamm, and Wonder Woman's in it. I think it's got a bit of romance, bit of fun, bit of everything. It's been done for quite a while now, very successfully and less successfully, and this is my second spy comedy because I was in The Brothers Grimsby with my husband, so I really enjoy the genre, and I hope audiences do too. I think my favorite moment is when we go, without giving a spoiler, when we go down to the basement and we find our friends, and that's all I can say.
Well, there's action, there's comedy, there's a fun story, and it's appropriate for all ages, so that's very nice too. I mean, you got to be over 13, but people under 13, really, come on, don't go to this movie. But over 13, go. Well, I think it's a fun thing to play with, because we've started to see it in a couple movies now. You see these funny action movies, and it's always really a pleasurable experience. And I loved working on it because I like both of those genres. I haven't done a lot of action in my career, but I love doing it, and I love comedy, and I love my friend Zach Galifianakis, who is a wonderful dude. Well, it was a little bit of a different take on the whole spy genre, and I knew that it was going to be Zach and myself, and I knew Greg Mottola was going to be attached, and so I knew I had a very good feeling about it, and I think we made a good movie. Oh, well, yeah, a lot. Driving the car was probably my most favorite thing, and the whole chase sequence probably took about a week and a half to shoot. It was very long, very involved, a lot of pieces and that sort of thing. but I got to drive for some of it, and that was really fun.
I wanted it to be sort of an old-fashioned, sort of 1980s style action comedy that has a lot of character stuff in it. It's not all just wacky jokes. There's actually some, characters that might seem relatable and like people especially Zach and Isla. But we learned that even though John and Gal looked like they're from another planet of much better genetics than the planet I come from, they turned out to be human. And it's all about marriages and relationships and how hard they can be and how a little excitement kind of helps things get better. Michael Lasser is a very funny writer, and I liked his style, and I feel like his jokes are not so obvious, and some of them are very dry and weird. And to be honest, Zach was attached before I had even read the script, and I'm such a huge fan of Zach's. Between those two things, I really wanted to do it, and I'm so glad I did. It's tricky because action, in a comedy, action cannot be funny enough to justify its place in the movie, so we kind of did it sparingly in this film. It takes a long while until we get into the action. The movie slowly transforms from one movie into another, dragging its characters along the way. So I hope it's a good balance.
Well, actually, Mike Lasser, the writer, brought us the idea before it was written, and I guess even though it's about this couple getting into this big spy story, what attracted us most, I think, was the story of these two couples becoming friends. And this idea that just wanting to be friends with the coolest people next door, not knowing where that was going to lead. Actually, that was the thing I think that got us, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Just right here. It's a very strange time out there, so I hope people expect to come in and just let go of what's happening outside of the theater and have 2 hours of fun. Well, I think
it's really a comedy, but hopefully I think that Greg Matola, our director, did a brilliant job in the action, and hopefully the action is very visceral and exciting.
The other thing is, if you just lay action over a story or comedy that doesn't have really to do with the characters, I think the audience senses it. Hopefully people will look at this and sense that the action is sort of comes out of the comic relationships. By putting these ordinary people in very extraordinary situations.
One more time this way, John. Thank you. Gal, John! We're terrible at this. I adore you, baby.
Good to see you again.
Always good to see you. And John? And your publicist ain't bad either. And John, just one more back here, please. All the way.
Gal, straight ahead, please. Right here, please.
And Gal, the front of the dress right here.
Gal, right here, please.
Gal, right there. And now that I don't have glare on you, can I get you to turn the full outfit to the front? There we go. And over your shoulder. Dear. Right Ladies, what's going on? Oh, let go! Ladies on the left, Gal! Gal on the left! And Zach, straight ahead of you for one more. Okay, handsome. I'm going to get you to turn around one more time, please. And right here. And Isla. Isla, straight ahead of you, please. And Isla, just right here, please. And Miss Fisher, if I can get you to turn the... Okay, you're handsome. And right here, please.
Guys, can we have you step back just a step?
Hey guys, both your far left. Walter and Lori over this way. Walter and Lori straight ahead.
Guys,
Walter.
and taking down.
And down here, right here.
Thank you.
Matt, one more.
Turn your shoulders.
And that beautiful face this way, please. That's right, Mary Beth, right here. Help. Mary Beth. And one right here. And if you want to drop your hands so they're not on your hips, and that's work for men too. What?
And right here, in the middle.
Oh, John and Zach, right here, please. Oh yeah.
So I said, I guess. So
Hi,
Hi, Vale here. Now, if you are like me and you like a good laugh, here are the top 10 comedy movies of all time according to Rotten Tomatoes. Coming in at number 10 is Stanley Kubrick's Dr. Strangelove or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Save the Bomb from 1964. At number 9 is Disney's Up, and number 8 is The Philadelphia Story, starring Audrey Hepburn, James Stewart and Cary Grant. Toy Story 2 is at number 7, and its sequel, Toy Story 3, is at number 6. A Hard Day's Night, starring the Beatles, is at number 5, while Gene Kelly's Singing in the Rain is at number 4. Number 3 is Frank Capra's It Happened One Night, and number 2 is Charlie Chaplin's Modern Times. And topping off the list at number 1 is, drumroll please, Bette Davis's All About Eve. Okay, so do you agree with this list? My favorite comedies are the Monty Python movies. What about you? Let me know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to our channel for all the latest trailer releases.